Are you able to make the most of challenging situations to become a better person? Hi, I'm Beth Strathman. Welcome back to my channel dedicated to your personal growth and development. In this video, I'm going to give you some ways to optimize challenging situations when you first notice something is off or that things aren't as they normally are. This tells you that you're entering a cycle of initiation. And by the way, before I forget, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of my newer videos. And I've also done a couple of other videos on initiation, so I'll make sure to link them to this video so you can watch them if you think that would be helpful to you. So an initiation cycle is a cycle of change and transformation that we all experience countless times throughout our lives. Some are very short cycles, and some feel like they're going to last forever. If done consciously and with awareness, these cycles can reveal yourself to yourself, and they can help you let go of limiting beliefs and coping behaviors that aren't working for you anymore. This allows you to become more of your true, authentic self. The cycle begins when you first notice that you're entering into a challenging situation that's different than what you're normally used to. This is a separation phase of the cycle where what's happening is really outside your normal. Here's how to make the most of the separation phase. First, notice the change or the separation and how it's different from what you've known before. For example, you like me may have had a job where things were you were treated differently than what you were normally used to. I had a job where I was in a managerial position, and oftentimes I wasn't involved and brought in on situations that were directly related to my job. So I think what was going on actually was that the other managers and executives that I worked with, they just weren't used to somebody with my experience and background being in the position. And so they'd never had practice in involving the person who was in my position before. So notice that change and difference and really see if you can get clear about what it is that really makes this situation different than what you're normally used to. Secondly, in a way, you need to really grieve or mourn the loss of what you're used to. I know that sounds a bit dramatic, but it can be very appropriate. But even in this situation where I'm talking about this job that I had, the way to grieve it is, first of all, feel the feelings that you feel. Don't try to push them under the rug. So, for example, I was angry and a bit frustrated and maybe a little sad or hurt and maybe even feeling a bit insecure when this was happening to me. When it actually happened to me, of course, I wasn't really clued into it. I was just mad that they weren't bringing me in on things that I could have really helped them think through and made better decisions about how to handle things had they actually included me in the decision making. So feel the feelings. And part of feeling the feelings is, of course, noticing where you feel them in your body. I mean, that's just bringing in the somatic awareness, which is really key. They do say that a lot of our feelings are stored in our bodies. And that's why, like, for example, you hear stories of people going to massage therapists, and when they hit a certain muscle in the body, the person really, it might bring up a memory or actually an emotion that it's tied to. Well, see if you can notice that. If I think back, it would probably be that I felt it in my throat, like a tight throat, and probably in my chest area. I think that's where I usually feel anger. So I'm assuming if I was really aware of it back when this all happened, that's probably the parts of my body I would have felt it in. The next thing to do is to really be appreciative of this opportunity to grow. I mean, that's what initiation cycles are all about. So go with it. Notice that even though you may not be able to see it in the moment, there's something here that's trying to come up and reveal itself about you to yourself. So show appreciation or feel appreciation for that you have this opportunity to grow and that you're willing to go with it. And the next thing is to reframe what this change is that you're experiencing as an opportunity to learn. So in my situation, for example, it could have been an opportunity for me to actually ask to be included, not assume that I would be included in things. And in that way, it was an opportunity for me to teach the others or to help them learn how I could be most useful to them. It also could have been an opportunity for me to practice letting go of some control and letting someone else worry about certain situations and the outcomes that occurred. Not from an I told you so, position, but that practicing of not feeling like I had to take the reins and control everything was probably a good lesson for me to learn back then. It's probably still a good lesson for me to learn now. But anyway, reframe what's going on so that it doesn't feel like it's happening to you, rather that, as Byron Katie says, it's happening for you. The fifth thing you can do is look at how your shadow might be coming out in this situation. I think if I look at this job situation where I wasn't included on things that were really part of my job, I think part of my shadow that was coming up is a vulnerable part of me that I never wanted to admit I had. It's because I did really feel like left out and sad. But instead of feeling that and noticing that might be the shadow elements that came up, I instead got angry and wanted to control things, right? So be open to how shadow elements in your personality that you don't want to admit that you have might be really trying to surface and be integrated into the rest of the repertoire of who you are. And sixth, I would say reflect on possibilities for what you need to let go of. So things like the need to control or feeling like I had to control situations before they controlled me. I think that was probably the thing that was really what I needed to let go of in this whole situation. After all, initiation cycles are about letting go of pieces of yourself that aren't working for you anymore. When I was a little kid, I think getting control of things in my little life was probably a way I felt powerful. And it probably worked for me when I was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. But when I was an adult, that a need to control didn't always work for me. And that's probably what was coming up for me to let go. So those are the ways to increase your awareness during the initial phase of going into these challenging times that are signaling you're going into an initiation cycle. After this separation phase, there's more to come, but we're not going to cover it in this video. But the information I've shared today will at least help you increase your awareness, put your best foot forward as you go into these very powerful initiation cycles. It'll help you face the challenge head on and know that there's something coming up, if you're just looking for it, that will help you examine who you are, who you're meant to be, and learn from it. I've noticed that challenging times, ironically or interestingly, are almost uniquely designed for each person to allow us to go deeper into ourselves and to mend those emotionally charged issues from our childhood. These initiations, like I said before, are there to reveal ourselves to ourselves And so it gives us a chance to throw off pieces of ourselves that aren't working for us anymore, to look at pieces of our persona and decide whether or not to keep them or let go of them so that we can grow into a bigger life. That's why it's important to start these initiation cycles off on the right foot by making the most of the initiatory cycle that's to come, and to notice what's happening as soon as it is happening so you can do that. So until next time, I'm Beth Strathman. Thanks for watching.